Hello, it's 25 March 2016 and welcome again to my channel. If you subscribe, we can send more money to kids with cancer, and that's what we're doing now. We're beginning to write checks to companies that send stuff to kids with cancer. But why the sudden interest? We want them cured. Why the sudden interest in Cuba? What is it that's attracting all the world leaders to this island? What you're about to see will shock you. So hang on. We're going to expose some pretty wild stuff. The ancient city of Havana has suddenly lit up. Something has been activated off of Havana. We've known for a long time that ancient cities lay all over the world. We did a TV story and we showed these crystals that were 4 wagon train loads long on All Day Live with Will Wilson. They were about 120 feet long. They were clear quartz crystals, and they drug them out from underneath Yesler and 2nd. Where the underground city is in Pioneer Square. Underneath there is an ancient city. And it's inhabited, which is why you have a tour that only goes to certain areas. They removed these about 1900. We saw the photos, we showed them on TV, and all references to the photos, all archived newspapers have been destroyed. Thank you, CIA. This city, under Havana, which we've known about for 50 years, has lit up suddenly. It's at about 6,000 feet. It was discovered again 50 years ago, and it's lit up. Now, a Canadian company is currently exploring it, but the U.S. and Russia will soon move in. There's a technology in there that somebody wants desperately. Something is coming here, and they don't want to be caught in it. Now, we're going to go back a little bit and change subject a little bit. This is called El Amarna. Its actual name was El Amarnin. It's an ancient city Queen Nefertiti and Akhenaten inhabited. It's a landing airstrip. This is a reproduction of the ancient head of Queen Nefertiti. Notice the missing eyeball. That missing eyeball contains all of the technology for El Amarnin, or the Wilhelmina star system, or Sirius A. I've been shown where it is. They'll never find it. They're not smart enough to figure it out. There's a whole lot more we don't know. This is the ancient pyramid of Giza. It points to Orion and Sirius. So, what does this all mean? This is Sirius in the sky, just so you know where Sirius is. The interest in Cuba is not about massive oil reserves, because we've known about these since 2008. Since that was about the same time Obama was sponsoring infanticide, the killing of babies after they were born. We have more oil in the Bakken Oil Reserve in Gull Island. We could supply the world with enough oil and natural gas for 200 years, just with the known reserves in this country. Charles Bishop, my neighbor, died at about 80, used to map these oil deposits around the country. Used to find the oil wells for Standard Oil, Chevron. There's enough oil in our country. It's not about oil. We don't even need oil. We used to produce plastics out of lignin from trees, and God knows we have the tachyon generator and the 1942 P51 motor, the Pratt Whitney 1180 or 1160, water-powered in 1942. It's not about oil reserves. That's not what is interesting these demon-possessed freaks. Is it about mining resources? Oh my God, maybe they have some chrome. No, now wait a minute. Paul Zinke in 1980 showed me a map of the largest chrome deposits in the world, and they're in the United States. They have lots of water, and as a Boy Scout, I skinned my knee there. Well, I was a little bit after the Boy Scouts. So I know the country but like the back of my hand, and there are chrome deposits everywhere. So it's not about money for mining, is it? Besides, we can grow iron. Metal filaments are grown by solid-state reactions from a matrix of metal of copper, iron, and sulfur. We can grow metal. It's not about mining. It's not about metals. Well, what's it all about, Dr. Mount? When they took these crystals out of Seattle, they were 120 feet long. They were clear. And these crystals were the power centers of the cities. They would pump electricity in one end, and out the other end would come enormous amounts of electricity. This is where Atlantis used to be. This is Italy, Turkey, where the oldest Stonehenge is in the world, Spain, the United States, Florida. Atlantis extended through here, and then the flood came and wiped it out. Plato talked about going through the gates of Hercules and going into Atlantis. These were the gates of Hercules. They wanted technology, and they can't have it. These are minor-sized crystals compared to what they have. Something has been lit up. That's an artificial light, but something has been lit up in this city off of Havana. Now here's Iran. Somewhere out in here, and they will not find it with their technology, is the most ancient city on this planet, and the most powerful. It's almost like some TV show you're walking through. It's bizarre. I'm not sure. There it is. That is a relief from El Amarna. That may be the moon. Little man pouring out food. The Ankh. The Ankh is not a religious symbol. It's a feeding tube. They're giving offerings, and he's feeding El Amarna. When the connection to the Sirius A star system, or the Wilhelmina star system, was broken, El Amarna degraded to the point where there's nothing left. But they're digging it up because they want her left eye. Now that's a human. That's her. They weren't human. They were 8 feet tall. Akhenaten and Nefertiti. These are electrical generators and pineal gland enhancers. I've had this all explained to me probably 4 or 5 times. Relief after relief after relief showing the same thing. Yonk coming through the moon or the sun. They're offering, but they're reaching out for the feeding tubes. The humans, Nefertiti, and the technology. And when that was broken in a terrible war, El Amarna degraded into nothing, and the handwriting and the technology all were destroyed because the ancient bodies had enormous dental work. And then it was 200 years later they were drilling with hand drills and filling with rock dust and glue. The entire technology was destroyed when this Stargate was knocked out. And they are desperately looking for a way off this planet because something is coming to take them out. And they think there's something down there at 5,000 feet. If we look at a picture of the Sphinx, and we haven't done this, we may try that. I'll give you an example. If we can get out of here. The Sphinx. Well, let's see if we can get a picture of the Sphinx. The Sphinx. The Sphinx. There it is. See that Sphinx? That activates the Stargate under the Sphinx. It's all activated with sound, and they don't know that, and they're not that smart to figure that out. God's made them dumber than a rock. What you're seeing here is technology way beyond anything we've ever thought of. And yet that's why the interest, because the city now is activated. We've known about these cities off Cuba. I mean, they found Noah's Ark in a movie, Finding Noah's Ark, back in 1978. They actually showed the Ark. We've seen the underground cities back in the 70s on television when we were kids. Of course, all references have been destroyed to that. But what we haven't seen is the cities become activated. And that's what's happening. That's so far underwater you can't just wobble around in a scuba outfit. That's, 5,500, 6,000 feet. I know it's over a mile, 5,200 feet, so you can go down maybe 150 feet with scuba tanks on. I wouldn't recommend it. You get goofy, but you do. You can. It's active, folks. They're probably going to go down there and try to take the caps off. I could tell you who activated it, and I could tell you why, but it really doesn't matter. It's just been activated. And before we go, I'm going to leave you with a picture. Are you ready for this? Things are not what they seem. This gal in the airport explosion was the same gal at Aurora, Colorado. Was the same gal at Sandy Hook. Was the same gal at Boston. Brussels explosions. Boston Marathon explosions. The fake Sandy Hook, the FBI admitted was fake. And in Aurora, Colorado. Kind of interesting. Things are not what they seem, folks. So that's a crisis actor as well. Little older one, getting little pudge there, so they use the younger one because she's cuter. I know how they think. I hung around them with the special forces. Some of the men are special forces and some of the women are their wives. So there it is, folks. The underground city has been activated, and they not only don't know what to do about it, they have no idea who's doing it or why. But they do know there's a technology there they want. And they know that there's a technology in Elamarnin that they want. And they can't find it because they're not with God. Coming to you live, I'll leave you with this one. This is just such a classic photo. Oh my God, whoever put that together deserves a Pulitzer Prize. The same gal at the airport explosion, Aurora, Colorado, Sandy Hook, and Boston. Folks, you've been led down the primrose path to destruction. It's time to pray and ask God what to do and prepare your families. We did a video, Be Ready. We're going to do a very important cooking show in a few minutes. One of the stores that sells dried food was told by a member of, can't tell you who it is, but I know who it is. They said, we're going to buy all the food you have. And they said, no, you're not. You're going to buy what we allow you to buy. And they said, when it goes down, it won't come back, and then we'll seize all your food anyway. So Homeland Security, the director, is still planning for the grid to go down permanently. And they're trying to make us become chipped slaves, so we don't know what's coming and we can't prepare. We cannot prepare. Early found Brussels blast fraud beyond all. Large-scale emergency at Brussels just a little while before the explosion. Isn't that interesting? Look for the large-scale drills, and then you'll find out where they're going to blow something up. That just blows your mind, doesn't it? Coming to you live, Dr. William B. Mount. Folks, you have a wonderful day. God bless, and please subscribe, because we get more advertising money, which is now being pumped into companies that can provide free products to people with cancer. I want to focus on the kids, the people who had no choice. The 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8-year-old stage 4 cancer. We want to build a house where they can come. And we're going to do that. But anyway, coming to you live, pray for that, will you? Because that would be really cool if we could do films on actual films of kids on how to revive them from their cancer and what it's like the first and second and third day they come to the house. So thank you very much, folks. And again, it's not about money. This is about technology. Obama's scared. Putin's scared. President Xi is scared. Something is coming that is much larger than their master. And they want the technology. They're desperate for that technology. Desperate enough to dig up an entire city. Desperate enough to start spending billions to dig up these cities. Billions to dig up these cities. They're scared. And they're going to get a whole lot more scared. Coming to you live, Dr. William B. Mount. Thank you and good night.